It's Crowder and Patton on the front row, coming to the start zone, coming to the green flag at Nashville Super Speedway, and we are officially in the back half of the season for Maximum Velocity. Millfelt and Patton have battled a lot this season. They're right back to it here for second. Patton moves down on Millfelt and will hold on to second. Oh, Michael is loose and into the grass and around. Oh, man. He didn't hit anything. He kept it off of pit road as well, but he is straight to the back of the pack.
Go ahead and look at a replay. Oh, and Patton was up into the wall off of 4. That's how the 2-for-1 happened here.
That certainly is not going to help the balance of the truck anywhere on this track, as Ashton Crowder actually just came down the pits. Completely missed that. Crowder is in the number 1 pit stall right now, lap 25. So that is, that's a couple laps short of what I thought the fuel window was going to be, but you never know. So this is for the lead now.
We haven't really been able to see anybody stick to that outside, but Griffin doing a great job here. See what he can do down here into turn 3. This is the tough spot. You see Griffin sends it pretty good. He's trying to squeeze Norman down there on the bottom. The problem is if you're there on that second lane and try to get the power down to stick right by him, you can get tight really, really quickly there out of 4. Find yourself in the wall if you're not careful.
Oh, Norman up the track. It's only a quarter of a lane, but when they're side by side, that's a lot.
Wow, and Griffin staves off Norman here for right now on the outside.
Yeah, that's the other problem, is they're going to get broken up so much they're probably not going to have an opportunity to make it fast before they come to pit road. Oh, no, Patton! Oh, into the wall. Oh, man.
Man, he tried to hang on to it, just couldn't quite do it.
That was pretty hard contact, too.
And that means Ashton Crowder has taken over the lead here. So Ashton Crowder's down pit road again.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I don't think he had enough fuel to make it, so he's just going for a 2-stopper. Well, we took a very unique route to get here, but we may end up getting our Michael Crowder battle for the lead that we were expecting to get. So here goes Crowder underneath of Michael. Down on the apron, back up onto the track. Crowder is not clear because Michael's going to send it in here outside. Crowder should be able to get it done here out of 2.
Yeah, Michael tried to put up the fight there, but just couldn't quite hold on to that outside on tires that are, almost 30 laps old at this point. And he tried to set that run up on the outside. Pretty big
Here
run.
he goes.
Norman's going to let him by.
Norman going to fight back. Crowder clear. But as they continue to battle away behind him, what a race for Ashton Crowder. Coming to win his 6th race of the season in Maximum Velocity, Ashton Crowder takes Nashville.
Oh, and he's doing the reverse
moonwalk.
He's moonwalking it. I love it.
He did this at the practice race in Las Vegas, too, and said he was disappointed with how it turned out. Like, oh, that was cool as hell. So was this. Do you feel the magic in the air? Well, there can only be one culprit. The magic at the Magic Mile. Yes, it is time for 130 laps around New Hampshire. Round number 12 of the revival season of the Maximum Velocity Racing League. And it's all right here where it's been the past 11 weeks leading into tonight, turn 200. Where else? Howdy folks, Tommy Cook here hanging out with you. I do believe superstar Matt Williamson will be here momentarily. I have to run that through his agent. After quite an interesting race last week at Nashville Super Speedway, something has happened to the points. The drop weeks have started to be factored in. Counting the best 10 races from each driver, this is how the point standings look. Greg Mulvin is atop the standings. Andrew Schulte now in second, and We're counting the best 10 races. Ashton Crowder, despite 6 victories this season, only has started 9 races, so he's a little bit in the hole, but not by much. Only 9 points behind Greg Mall. Ronnie Norman, James Lehman now moves up into the top 5 in the standings. Justin Michael is back there in 8th. A lot of familiar names at the top of the point standings, but who will be at the top of the heap when it is all said and done here tonight? 130 miles, 130 laps around New Hampshire. Round number 12 of the revival season of Maximum Velocity Racing League is around the turn on turn 200.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Broken art I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
The ASRL Southern Shores Realty Sports Car Championship, live on October 11th from Sears Point Raceway, only on turn 200. And now, our feature presentation. Alrighty, welcome in to the show, everybody. Welcome to virtual New Hampshire. It's Tommy Cook, and it's, I do believe, only going to be Tommy Cook, at least for 90% of tonight's broadcast. Matt Williamson, I found out through his agent, is doubtful to return with a hamstring injury. That's just a little sports joke. No, Matt is doing important things and is elsewhere here tonight. But hopefully we'll get him to tune in here and hang out in the chat at least for a little bit. Some folks in the chat already. Michelle Kirk cheering on Will tonight, of course. Greg Mall, Noah Rainwater, Ashton Crowder all hanging out with us before tonight's race starts. I know Greg, I think, is alluding to the fact that several drivers, including Justin Michael, want to turn the Magic Mile into a fishing center. I mean, a lake, a pond, whatever. They want to fill it with water and fish out of it. I can definitely think of one driver who would be fundamentally opposed to that, and we'll try and get a word in with him quickly before we get cars on track for qualifying. That is Scott Patton. Definitely the driver that does not want to turn New Hampshire into a fishing pond. That's for sure. And looking pretty sporty in practice here, partner. How are we doing tonight?
Yeah, trying to get some laps here, see what we can do, see if we can, I don't know, chase down Ash in some way, figure out a game plan, but we got all our elbows out, all hands on deck here tonight for sure, because of the home track advantage I want to put down here for this New England Racing Museum Chevy Silverado if we can, so we're going to give them hell tonight.
What does it take to get it done here around New Hampshire? What are the prevailing factors that need to come out in order for you to park in the victory lane?
I would say a lot of consistency. It's one thing to be fast for one lap, but to be able to do it lap after lap, and with this progressive banking, a lot of people don't realize here in New Hampshire, but yes, it is flat, but it's actually a progressive banking from that second racing groove there up to the third and 3.5, 4 lanes. So If you kind of use that to your advantage, even if you slip up a little bit, there's ways to kind of correct the truck to get the best run still off the corner. So that's probably the big thing, is realizing the consistency, and then when you do screw up on the corner entry or something, knowing exactly how to make up for it to be able to regain that speed on the exit to still put down a good lap.
Well, you're riding a wave of momentum after a great comeback last week, getting that top 5 finish. Best of luck to you here tonight. Hopefully we'll be talking to you again after the show is over.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, guys. Enjoy the show.
So that is Scott Patton. We'll look at the weather conditions before we roll into qualifying here. Got some extra shenanigans that we're going to get to during tonight's stream after qualifying here. Track temp is a little spicy there. Never good when you got a 1 in front of it. That says 113. It's a little bit too small on my screen to read, but hopefully that is good enough for you guys. Watching at home and around the world. And we'll turn me up a little bit. Hopefully that is a little bit better. As it is time for trucks on track here. Tyler Chalk, the first driver off of pit road. Will Kirk, Justin Michael, Ashton Crowder all out on the track here. You see Crowder trying to get the tires warm. Nope. Barely not. Will Bale. No rainwater out on track. We only had one driver sneak into the 29 seconds. It was a 29.99 actually from Ashton Crowder in practice. He was fastest, no surprise. He's looking for his 7th win on the season. Justin Michael, despite saying that he's not going to be good here and that he wants to turn this into a pond. Oh, comes to a stop there. But, he was 5th fastest in practice. Michael Milfeld goes to the top of the board on his opening lap. Again, this is 3-lap qualifying across 5 minutes. When qualifying is over, whoever is sitting on the pole, I do believe he's going to be offered a bonus by James Lehman. The details of that bonus are to be announced, but they're going to have to work for it. Johnny Hamby has just shot up to the top of the board with a 30.44. This is Hamby's 2nd lap here. Now Ashton Crowder has just jumped to the top, a 29.96. And it's going to be a one and done, I do believe, for Ashton Crowder. Hamby, 30.44 on lap 2, still 2nd quickest. Cody Griffin is out on track. He just jumped up to 10th after his first lap. Oh, and there he goes. We get Rob Haynes, who gets awfully close to the wall there, out of 4. That is to complete his 2nd lap, and that moves him up to 2nd quickest. A 30.31, but 3.5 tenths off of the pace set by Ashton Crowder. Andrew Schultz, 1 lap in the books. It's good enough for 7th fastest. This is lap number 2. Again, only about 1.5 minutes and change to go here in qualifying. 26 drivers registered for this race. A couple of drivers are making their first starts here with Maximum Velocity. Schultz to the line to put lap number 2 up. And a 30.64 for Schultz, actually a 30.68 30:64 was his opening lap. So still 8th quickest for Schulten. Matt Burkhart has just jumped up to 9th. And Scott Patton is up to 3rd. And now up to 2nd with a 30:29. 1 minute to go. Still several drivers that are looking to post times or are electing not to post times. Ronnie Norman went from being the points leader last week down to, I believe, 4th in the standings with the drop weeks factored in and all that. This will be coming to put his first lap up. Actually, this will be his second lap. His first lap, he didn't get to post a time. Must have made contact with the wall somewhere along. Second lap has looked pretty clean. And indeed, it's 3rd quick for Ronnie Norman. 30:26. 10 seconds left to go. Norman is the only driver out on track. I don't think he'll be able to complete this lap. And that should get us on our way to get to the starting grid. And real quick, we're going to pull up James Lehman. And then we're going to try and pull up our pole sitter. How's it going, James?
It's going good, Tommy. How about yourself, man?
It is going all right as I struggle to get our pole sitter in here.
You got him.
He is. All right, Ashton Crowder, the pole sitter here for the race. James, welcome both of you gentlemen to booth 200 here.
All right. Hey, Ashton, so we're going to do something crazy tonight. You're the first go around on it. So there's going to be a bonus point available for whoever starts on the pole, as you already know. The bonus point, additional bonus point is if you will take an EOL at the start of this race, start in the back of the pack, and if you finish in the top 5, you get an additional 2 bonus points if you finish in the top 5. Do you want to take this challenge tonight? You need to make a decision in 10 seconds.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I got 130 laps. I can do it.
All right. You heard it here first, folks.
All right.
That was really on the spot, but I got it. We'll do it.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
See ya, Tommy.
Yeah, good luck, James. Well, how about that? You heard it here. Ashton Crowder is going to go to the tail end of this 26 truck field. And while we gear up to do that, we'll go ahead and give you tonight's starting lineup for 130 laps around New Hampshire. They will roll off like this. Now, of course, it's Ronnie Norman on the pole with Cody Griffin to his outside. Scott Patton, Ronnie Norman on road 2. Ashton Crowder scores the pole going to the tail of the field. As they are already rolling. A disastrous start to the race for me. I'm way behind now. Here is the rest of your starting lineup through the 24th position. James Lehman deep in the field here, a lot deeper than he wants to be, I think, starting at 19th. And then the back row is Billy Davison and Jack Neunenmacher, who are both making their first career starts here tonight. Fuel window tonight, we think, with shifting involved here, is going to be somewhere between 45 and 55 laps. So it's a 2-stopper for sure. 1 extra set of tires compared to where we normally are. So 4 sets in the pits. These drivers have 130 miles to settle it here tonight. Ronnie Norman and Cody Griffin lead the field into turn number 1 at New Hampshire. Side by side. The back end of these trucks do not want to cooperate here on cold tires. So you can get to the power first. Griffin right up alongside the wall there. As These two were battling side by side at Nashville Super Speedway for the lead after Ashton Crowder pit last week. Griffin high up and nearly into the wall. And Ronnie Norman takes the lead. That's Scott Patton there in third. Rob Haynes and Johnny Hamby right now, your top 5. Patton underneath of Griffin now. Ashton Crowder from 26 already up to 22nd in the first couple of laps. As Patton in one of his best chances to win here this season, especially with Crowder to the back of the field and having to either pass a lot of trucks or employ an alternate strategy. Pat needs to get this pass done before Ronnie Norman drives away. Pat, oh, I think Griffin got a piece of the wall there right at start finish. That will give the spot now to Scott Patton. Oh, we got trouble. I think James Lehman has gone around. Indeed he has. So that is caution number 1 on the night. Just a few laps into this one. We'll take a look here. As the 0-1 of John Pansilla just behind. Lehman is loose. Pansilla doesn't look like he checks up there in time. But Lehman, pretty hard contact there into the inside wall. And that will put us under caution here for the first time. Ashton Crowder is up to 19th. After scoring the pole for the umpteenth time this season, being offered an impromptu extra bonus point if he were able to drive all the way from the back up to the top 5. And actually, we do have James Lehman in the booth here now with us. James, talk us through the incident there.
Honestly, just a rookie mistake on missing my shift and then moving out of somebody's way, and I still get hit, but probably should have stayed where I at. That one's on me.
Now, to point out as well, you're the league proprietor here for Maximum Velocity. How did you, where'd you come up with the idea to give this opportunity to Ashton here at the start of this race?
In all reality, just trying to create some racing towards the back of the pack and give people, I don't know, maybe a chance to give Ashton a run for his money, and just give him a challenge from having to come from the back and seeing how it does. If he actually ends up doing it, root to him, he gets an additional 2 bonus points. If he doesn't do it, then he learned that he can't be doing it all the time. But that's the risk of the challenge.
And also to point out, this wasn't an Ashton Crowder exclusive. This offer was going to be on the table for whoever was the pole sitter here tonight. It just so happens that Ashton has been lighting it up in qualifying of late.
Yeah, exactly. And from now on, from every race, that's going to be the thing. And whoever starts on the pole, that will be offered up to them right after qualifying's ended. And my night is ended because I have blew my engine, so that's great. So I'm gonna sit up here in the booth with you tonight, if you don't mind, Tom.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was gonna ask if we had a timetable on the return, but I guess that answers that.
Yeah, hitting a wall head on ain't gonna do too good. That's for sure.
Does not do any truck any favors. Well, appreciate some company here tonight. Yes, you're more than welcome to hang up here.
Of course, I think this goes down as the worst finish I'm gonna have this season.
Well, here we go.
Yeah.
coming to a restart. Ronnie Norman is looking pretty good out front, but now Scott Patton is going to line up alongside. And we're coming to put lap number 9 of 130 up on the board. Griffin underneath moves Patton up the track, side by side for second.
Yeah, Griffin is a very aggressive racer, man. He's very good here, and I know he's going to put up a hell of a fight for Scott here, and I know Scott's got his hands full up here up front.
Oh, wow,
Ooh.
Griffin has his hands full there. Impressive.
Oh, a
to
little bit of
save
touch.
that.
He's going to lose another spot to Rob there, I think. Oh, no. Nope, Rob's going to hold. He's going to hold up against Rob there.
Griffin's problem now is going to be getting those tires back in check here.
That's for sure.
This truck is a little bit squirrely here on these restarts once you cool them off a little bit, and that's exactly what that looked like there. As that gets settled for the time being, side by side, a couple of spots behind them. This is Johnny Hamby on the outside. Jack Watts is back in the field here tonight. Now he'll find himself side by side with Andrew Schulte
Ooh.
for spot number 7.
Thought they were going to make it 3 wide there. I was a little worried.
Noah Rainwater just hit pit road.
Ooh, what was that about? It looks like he had an incident on the front stretch there. We got in with Matt and smacked the inside wall. Pretty sure he got a meatball off of that. Johnny Hammy falling back quick here. Tyler's about to pass him now too. Oh, sorry, Jack. My bad.
Jack got it all done and dusted with Schulte. Now is going to be clear on Johnny Hamby.
Yep.
And Hamby will have his hands full with Schulte.
The tire saver himself. It's one of the biggest things about Schulte, man. He's very good at saving his tires no matter what track it is, and he's always there at the end of a fuel run.
Certainly that's seemed to be his MO this season from what we've seen. Of course, this is our first season with Schulte on track on turn 200. And it always seems like he pops up at the end of the first fuel run, and then he's there for the rest of the race.
Oh yeah, that's the type of racer Schulte's always been, and you know, he always, like, you can go past him and everything, but for sure he's always gonna be there. He'll catch you.
So
Ashton Crowder's making his way through the field finally.
That's what I was just about to say. Johnny Hamby has slid back into this mess with Greg Mull, Will Kirk, Ashton Crowder, Justin Michael, and Ashton Crowder, I'm going to say him for a second time apparently, all the way down onto the apron there. How sketchy is that?
I'll tell you what, it's free real estate, you know, because they even do that in real NASCAR, so I can't say it's not allowed, but that is, I don't know if I'd be down there. That's, I'll be honest, that's sketchy territory, and it's also going to eat up his tires pretty bad, you know.
I will say I did try it once in AI practice, and I did not like it. Not one bit. Now Greg Mull in front of Crowder is working over Will Kirk. This is for the 10th position here. So Michael just ahead of these two in 9th. Ronnie Norman right now is under fire from Scott Patton for the race lead. The gap was a lot bigger just a couple of corners ago. I wonder if Norman had a slip up. Patton, by the way, is looking to capitalize here.
Yeah, I think Ronnie's he's over rotating the truck a little bit, so he's burning up that right front a little bit sooner than he wants. And this is Scott's track, man. This is his fishbowl, you know. He knows it like the back of his hand, just like how he can pull bass out of turn 3 every now and then when it rains. But you know, it's his place.
He is still looking for that first win. It was so great to see him get a top 5 last week after it has been a rough start to the season for driver 46.
It has been a rough season, you know, and he, you know, don't let it fool you guys. Scott Patton is a very, very good racer, and he just had a very rough first 7 races, and that's the sad truth. But that's the part of it, you know. That is part of it.
So it's now the top 3 all nose to tail here. Andrew Schulte has just moved past Rob Haynes to move up into the top 5. But Scott Patton leading. Norman now under fire from Cody Griffin. What happened to Wally? I'm not sure. He's still running back in the 19th position, pretty close to Matt Burkhardt here. I did not get any sort of incident warning, so.
His truck looks clean. It doesn't look like he hit anything.
So long way to go in this one. Well over 100 laps. It's Cody Griffin right on Ronnie Norman. Ronnie was excited to get on the podium last week. Ran out of gas out of turn number 4. It's what allowed Justin Michael to get through to second. But still, Norman with a podium. And I think I just heard somebody blow up. It might have been somebody on the road.
It was my truck. Finally blew up
Well, there you
again.
Cody Griffin.
I didn't know that was possible to blow up twice.
Yeah. Cody Griffin finally up to second. Norman going to ride around in third. Tyler Chalk is under fire from Andrew Schulte. This is for spot number 4. And look who's right behind them both. Ashton Crowder.
Oh man. You know, Andrew was telling me, he said he wasn't gonna give it to Ashton, so we'll have to see what he does here. He said he was gonna make it a challenge for him.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see.
They've gotten a little chippy the last couple of races.
They have, you know, and then, you know, and it's not like any bad blood or anything, you know, it's really good, hard racing. It's good sportsmanship, you know, neither one of them are wrecking each other on purpose, which is something we don't like to see here at Max Velocity, but I wouldn't doubt if I see a little bit of a bumper action here, you know.
Well, there goes Crowder way down onto the apron again. The
Slide
slider.
job. Ooh.
Nearly
Gives him
the
a little
contact
shot there in the
yeah.
back. See
Schulte
what he does here going in turn 3.
Schulte a little wiggly. Crowder with a brush of the wall.
Or he's going to try to do the same thing. He gets a little squirrely. Well,
Crowder up to 4th. Bonus points are looking pretty good now for 27.
Ronnie Norman, if you're listening, make it a challenge.
See Ronnie Norman just in the distance there on the last camera out of turn number 2. Still about a tenth and a quarter to go for Crowder to track down Norman to move himself back onto the podium. Schulte riding in 5th. Tyler Chalk, Justin Michael, Greg Mall, Jack Watts, Johnny Hamby, top 10. Will Kirk just outside of the top 10 in 11th. Michael Millfield in 12th. Rob Haynes has dropped back quite a bit here. He's back to 13th.
Yeah.
Charlie Widener 14th. Brad Slagle in 15th.
Yeah, Rob Haynes falling that far back is it's kind of weird. I wonder if he got in a wall or something, got some damage, or he just burnt his stuff up too soon. You know, for him to go start in 5th and fall back to 13th, it's a big drop. You know.
Ashton Crowder is already up to the 6th. You saw how low he was there in 1 and 2. We're going kickback cam here on the broadcast. That's Norman ahead of Crowder.
I'm curious to see how his right sides are after this run.
I think he probably is too.
I would like to know, because wow, I know they gotta be on fire.
Just look how much lower he is.
Yeah, just, you know, it's crazy the technique he's using. You know, he's diving in low, swinging it up, letting it slide up, and then almost coming to a stop. But then that's just a part of pretty much dive bombing, I guess you can say. You know, and it's working for him, which is kind of blowing my mind. I don't think anybody here was prepared to see that actually work.
Now, strategy-wise, is he going to absolutely just use these tires up, wait until the moment they turn junk, and then pit early here?
You know, if he had his spotter here tonight, I'd be jumping down there. I'd be messing in the spotter. Hey, what is he doing? You know, get some insight. But his spotter did not show up tonight. But based on the tire tracks that I'm seeing on the track that he's leaving behind, he's burning it up. That's for sure. That right front is gonna be gone.
Rubbering up his
By
own
the end.
lane.
Yeah, pretty much at this point.
I mean, he's damn near in the grass there. Turn one. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Now I'm not gonna say that if he hits the grass, then it's gonna be probably gonna be a bad day.
It very well could be. It's about to be a bad day for Cody Griffin here.
I probably should have said, for him to win to get the bonus points. But
Well, I thought the top 5 would be hard enough, but we're 30 laps into this
Yeah.
race, and here he is challenging for second. Slides right
he's
back to
getting
the
there.
line.
yeah, because at the moment right now he's running almost 2/10 faster than the 2 leaders. So, it shows the talent level of Ashton Crowder and him knowing where he can put the truck and where it could be fast, but a lot of practice can pay off.
I think Crowder getting around Griffin, unless something happens here, is probably an inevitability. And it's about to happen right here. Scott Patton, he's about a second ahead of Crowder. '27 is coming in a hurry here. And look
Cody
at
Griffin gonna give that a shot.
Yeah. Why not try it out at least for a corner? Try it out in turn 1, see if you can stay out of the grass and keep speed.
Right.
Why not?
Yeah. Might as well give it a shot. And if it's working for him, it's got to work for you at least.
You would think. It's gotten to the point where Crowder now, it's telling me, is exiting pit road every time that he goes into turn 1.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
I wonder if this was his plan before he moved himself to the back. Or if he was
I
just
wonder
running
too.
away from
Because if you really think about it, we started this race. There was probably about a 4-second gap between last place and first place at the green, and just think he'd probably have a 5-second gap by now.
Well, Patton tried to take the line away from Crowder. He stays on the track that time, and now Crowder is going to move himself up to the lead. So officially it takes him 33 laps to go from 26th up to 1st. What an incredible drive.
Yeah, it's just insane, man. Just that he's a very good driver. To be able to go start from the back and then use it in a totally different line than everybody else is using, and pretty much drive to the front.
And you'll notice now that he's in the lead, he's not using that line anymore.
No. I think everybody there took some notes, seeing what he did, and be like, all right, that line's usable. So.
About the closest battle we've got on track right now is Ronnie Norman in 4th, being hunted down by Andrew Schilta. Still a couple of truck lengths apart. Oh, Tyler Chalk, I think, just had a problem. He's just jumped back to the pits.
Yeah, Tyler Chalk has retired from the race,
Interesting.
sadly.
So I believe that puts us down 2 drivers in the review. Noah Rainwater was on pit road for nearly 5 minutes, so a lot of repairs to be done on the 05, but they've been completed. He's back out on the track. Schulta doing a nice job here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's going to get a nice run off this corner here and be able to do something with it.
Very well could.
Oof.
Look at
He's
him
trying. I think he sent it in the corner just a little too hot and he slid. But it also looks like Ronnie got a little bit loose off the corner there. Ooh. Nice run down the front stretch here.
Schulta has the spot into 1. don't think he's going to be able to clear. They got the 69 of Kerry Claver in front.
People's champ.
The People's Champion. Yes, indeed. And Schulte going to get clear in time, I do believe. As Cleaver going to stay high for them regardless. Just behind these two, Justin Michael is trying to fend off Greg Mall for 6th. And thank you, Marilyn, for the tip there in the chat. Mall down on the Crowder line under the apron.
Currently at the moment, Greg Mall. Oof, that was close.
That was close.
Currently at the moment, Greg Mall is the biggest mover up the race. Started 20th and now is up to, hopefully, will be 6th in a couple laps.
I do believe also currently the points leader. So doing a nice job here.
Yeah, he needs a solid, good race night here.
So Ashton Crowder in the lead by 2.7 seconds over Scott Patton. Cody Griffin running in 3rd. Andrew Schulte and Ronnie Norman close together still in 4th and 5th. Mall, Michael, Hamby, Milfelt, and Watts, your top 10. Charlie Widener and Will Kirk, 11th and 12th. And actually, let's go take a look at Widener and Kirk here, as Kirk has been hounding Widener for the last few laps for the 11th position. Lap 41 up on the board this time. We have had one caution so far here, James, unfortunately. But what's the pit window number that these drivers are aiming at here, do you think?
Honestly, I was just about to jump down and get that answer for you. I was just about to do that. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back up.
Well, I'll tell you what Ashton Crowder's
Never
number
mind.
is. It's lap 41. Crowder's on pit road. And so far, he is the only driver to hit pit road. Kerry Cleaver will follow him on, but Cleaver is 1 lap down. So Crowder into his pit stall number 1. It's not where he started the race, but he did earn that pit stall.
Sure did. Ronnie Norman is now coming down pit road.
Yes, he is. No, Rainwater is also back on pit road, multiple laps down. But Norman from inside the top 5, second driver to hit pit road. I think after his opening stint, he probably needed to be one of the first drivers on to pit road to get some fresh rubber on there.
Yeah, I would say that's very true.
Wally Turheimer is also on pit road. And Greg
Got
Mall
Greg
now.
Mall. I think Mr. Kurt is also pitting now too.
Scott Patton now in from the race lead, as Cody Griffin was hanging it out there when we caught a glimpse of him. Here's Scott Patton. Jack Watts now on pit road. Lap 45 now. Here comes Cody Griffin. He'll give up the lead, which will give the lead in turn to Andrew Schulte.
Noah Rainwater has taken his truck to the hauler for the night.
Oh,
Looks like he's having some troubles.
Yeah, it has not sounded like it. The night has gone well for Noah Rainwater, unfortunately. Matt Burkhart also on pit road. So still waiting on, I believe, 8 of the top 9 drivers to hit the pits. Get to see stops from Schulte, Michael, Milfelt, Widener, Slagle, Hayes, and Strotman and McRoberts. This is Michael Milfelt in third that we're riding on board with. As this group of drivers, it's been 2 or 3 laps since we've seen anybody on pit road. We got a lot of people trying to go long here. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us here tonight on Turn 200 as we're waiting the rest of our lead lap car pit stops here. Lap number 50 and 130 goes up on the board. If you're hanging out with us here tonight and you haven't dropped us a chat, let us know that you're hanging out, and let us know who you're rooting for as well. Drew Strotman is on pit road.
I will be right back. I gotta do admin stuff.
Okay. Charlie Widener in the pits now. And now here comes the race leader, Andrew Schulte. So he will give up the lead to Justin Michael. Michael Milfelt now will be hitting pit road. And there goes Ashton Crowder, who certainly is looking to cycle out to the lead momentarily. The only person standing in between him and the race lead right now is Justin Michael, who we have yet to see on pit road. Will it be this time? No, it will not.
I think Justin and Andrew here are, well, Justin, I don't know. I think he's just he's hoping for something to happen here, you know?
It's very possible.
It is.
On,
you know,
cold tires here, this truck is not the easiest to drive.
that is for sure. That is for sure.
It almost bit Ashton a couple of times at Iowa. And I think Justin is going to throw in the towel this time and bring it to pit road. So Michael will give up the lead here on lap 53, and there goes Ashton Crowder. Back to the lead. Brad Slagle, don't believe has come to pit yet. He is riding in second, and Scott Patton is in third. About 9 seconds behind Crowder. Brad Slagle in second. We've mentioned him a couple of times throughout the season, having a quiet season, but not in a bad way. He's top 10 in points and just does his thing and doesn't make a whole lot of noise about it.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, and he was one of the guys that we recruited at the beginning of the season from the recruitment races, and he's actually going to be pitting in this time around, and he's been an outstanding driver. He's been a mid-pack guy. He's gotten himself 1 top 5 and 3 top 10s this whole season, and he puts up a fight for middle of the pack, and seeing himself 7th in the points is pretty good.
Absolutely. I'd be tickled pink if I was a top 10 points driver in this league with the strength of field that rolls in here every single week. That is outstanding work by Brad Slagle and doing a nice job here tonight as well as he is making his pit stop. Ashton Crowder now officially Scott Patton back up into second. And again, 9.5 seconds. Crowder won the pole for this race. It'll show on the stat sheet. Took an EOL penalty for the opportunity at an extra couple of bonus points. It only took him 33 laps to move from 26th to 1st in tonight's race. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, it's just an outstanding drive, Like with him racing here and stuff, it makes everybody have to just try that much harder, to get better. And we all, not gonna lie, every race we're all learning something new. Like you call it now, that Crowder line. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't think anybody would have tried it. And then to see it actually work kind of blows everybody away. But we all learn something new every race, and then we also, just learn that he's just that good and he's just that much better, and we got to work on our driving a little bit better. That way we can actually put up a fight more.
Three-way scrap here for the 9th position. Michael Milfeld got through on Will Kirk. Justin Michael with the second freshest set of tires on the track has made his way through now as well. And these guys are coming up rapidly here to Jack Watts, who is in 8th.
Yeah, looking at it, Jack Watts is just on a little bit, about 6-7 laps older tires than these gentlemen. So pretty sure Justin here will make quick work of him going into 1 and 2.
Michael underneath Watts to move up to 9th. And he's going to keep on offense here and keep trying to reel in Michael Milfeld. Oh, caution.
We got a caution on the track.
Oh, and I think we jinxed Brad Slagle. I think Brad
Did we
Slagle
really?
has crashed, yes. He's at least gone around to bring out the second caution here. We'll take a look at it on the replay.
I'm actually kind of surprised I brought the caution. Wow.
And again, he had just come into pit, so fresh tires on this 052 machine. And it looks like it's just going to step out on him, and that's you and I have alluded to it multiple times here. It's so easy to do on cold tires.
It's so easy to do it, and it's just like I'm still surprised I brought the caution out, but then looking at the miles per hour, he almost came to a dead stop, so it kind of makes sense. But I'm just glad he didn't hit anything, and he's still got a clean truck, and so he should be good to go here.
That is the good news. The bad news is he's now trapped a lap down, I do believe.
Yep. Yeah, I think he'll be stuck a lap down here. Unless he stays out, then takes the wave around, because I'm going to take a guess that everybody that's on a lead lap comes in and gets fresh yet.
We are in. The top 7 are all coming to pit here. Crowder, Patton, Griffin, Norman, Mall, Schulte, and Hamby all pit. Michael Milfeld Jr. is going to stay out, so will Justin Michael. I think this should give the lucky dog to Charlie Widener. There will be a couple of other drivers, if they decide not to pit, who will be in position for wave rounds here, just outside of the top 10.
Yeah, it's looking like it'll be Matt, Kerry, Bill, Wally, and what's that number? 022. Who's that? That's a new guy. Oh, Jack. You try to say that last name. I'm not even gonna
I
attempt.
have tried. I don't feel good about it. I said Nunemacher, like Schumacher, but Nuna. I don't feel good about it, but we gave it a shot.
I almost want to pull him up and be like, hey, how do you pronounce this? All right, have a nice race.
Yeah, he and Billy Davison both, who I believe are teammates, are racing their first races tonight. They've had a pretty quiet night, all things considered.
Yeah, pretty quiet night. Cody did a recruitment race earlier this week, and these two guys, they thought that was great, and they found out that we had this Thursday night league, and they asked to join, and I had no problems with it. So they're here tonight, testing the waters out, and I've heard nothing but good things come from them.
Will Kirk and Jack Watts, as well as Charlie Widener, all on pit road. So that leaves 2 drivers that have stayed out then, and we were just watching them battle away for the 8th position. Now it's Michael Milfelt who will be pacing the field here. Justin Michael is going to line up to his outside. And like you mentioned,
this should be an interesting.
Oh, go ahead.
This should be very interesting with those two starting side by side. When Ashton Crowder's going to be restarting in 3rd here, you know, we're looking at. Let me pull up my chart. We're looking at roughly about a 10-lap difference in tires here, so probably going to be about a 6/10 of a second difference in speed. So I guess we'll see how that goes.
So
I wonder if he's going to use his line.
that will be interesting. Wally Turheimer, actually Matt Burkhart, Wally Turheimer, Drew Strotman, Ryan McRoberts, and Brad Slagle all going to take a wave around, all going to get back on to the lead lap. That'll give us 17 trucks on the lead lap here. I mean, Michael was gunning for Michael there right before the caution came out, so having a restart on the outside here may put him in a little bit of a box, but I would imagine Justin Michael, especially with Crowder and Patton right here, he is going to get up and go.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm expecting Crowder here to go down into turn 1 here and use his line, and hopefully he doesn't slide, because if he slides, he's going to have he's going to end up like Brad Slagle did. So we'll see how it goes here on his restart.
Lap 65, pretty good jump here for Michael Milfelt. And he needed it.
Yes, he did. Ashton Crowder's going to go down to the line. He sits there. Ooh, he slides up just a little bit. Ooh, everybody's loose behind him. Straighten it up.
Crowder underneath of Michael Milfelt. There's the Crowder line in 3 and 4.
Ooh, Scott and Justin there get together. Justin slides up the track.
Justin going to give up a couple of positions here. Cody Griffin underneath of him. That is for 4th as Crowder leading the way now. Oh, and
Cody
Griffin
slides up into his lane.
Boy.
Ooh, getting racy back here, and I like it.
Oh, man, pow, into the wall. Jack Watts. The field scatters around it. That was a tank slapper for sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if he has a meatball after that one. That was a pretty bad hit.
Definitely. Oh, man, Scott Patton nearly up and into the wall as he gets around Michael Milfelt to move up to 2nd.
This cluster right here for 4th place is amazing to watch. 5th place
3
now, my
wide,
bad.
nearly 4 wide as Maul is down on the apron.
And I just got word that Maul hasn't had audio since lap 41.
Oh, man.
So he's almost running blind here.
I was going to say, how much do you rely on the sounds to know what is going on around you? I mean, with your own truck, let alone with everybody else.
I think the biggest thing right now is being able to hear your tires. Once you hear them, you know, screeching a little bit, you realize you're pushing it too hard. You need to back out of it, kind of deal. And that was something that Ashton Crowder taught a lot of us. So, you know, he's told us, turn your tires up, it'll help you a lot, I promise. And it has, for sure.
Like Schulte and Norman maybe had a little bit of netcode contact down the back straightaway.
Just a little bit. Wow. To watch all 4 of them just get in line right there off the turn 3, off turn 4 right there was actually kind of cool to watch.
Norman gonna send it underneath of Milfelt here.
It's cleared off turn 2 here. Now Greg Maul is going to go under Michael here and see what he can do.
Yeah, Michael gave it a great crack. That is
he
for
did.
sure.
He did, that's for sure. You know, I don't know if I would have stayed out, that's for sure, you know, on 10 lap old tires. I probably would have done it if we had like maybe 6 or 7 laps to go, but not midway through the race, that's for sure.
And Michael, we mentioned, Justin Michael that is, with the fresher tires, but he had that big bobble in the restart. He's actually further back than Michael Milfelt. Michael right now rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, Scott Patton, he went in, I think it was turn 3 there. He slid up a little bit, ran into Justin just a hair, nothing too crazy, just pushed him up the track. No harm, no foul for Scott there, but Justin got the bad end of the stick and fell back, and he's been falling back since.
Of course, Justin was very vocal of his feelings of coming to a race at New Hampshire when we talked to him last week on the podium. So I'm sure that didn't add to his level of excitement here.
No, of course not. I mean, everybody, all of us at Bandit Motorsports, we always give Scott, crap for this fishbowl because, he calls this his home, and then every time it rains, it floods. So it's pretty funny.
Millfelt continuing to drop back here. Goes Johnny Hamby with a slider. That is to try and get up to 7th. He's got the spot. Might have to drive off the top side here. Millfelt gonna give it all he's got, though. Try and hang on. Just try to hang on. So
yeah, he's trying to hold.
What's the path forward here for Michael Millfelt now that he stayed out?
In all reality, in this situation, he's roughly about 2/10 off the speed right now with the people that he's around, and they're just trying to find a good, get a good run, that way they can get past him. In my opinion, what I would do best here is I would try not to do that. for one, I wouldn't try to lose it in front of everybody, because then you'll end up like me, down pit road and with a busted engine. But I would honestly just try to survive and try to stretch this fuel as far as you can, and where you only got to stop one more time,
Scott Patton in second is getting to be about in defense here, as Cody Griffin has been slowly but surely reeling him in.
Yeah, Cody Griffin's, he's been missed out for most of the races this season because he's been worried about real racing, him and his local short track. Finally he's actually the points leader now at his local track. He took it over last weekend. Props to him for that. And I can't fault him for it. Real racing always comes first before us here racing on a sim. And I'm hoping that he can get here and give Scott a run for his money for second place.
Well, we know whenever he turns up here on Max V that he is always a threat, at least for a podium, if not for a win. I mean, he's had that kind of pace here all season whenever we've been lucky enough to have him. Patton doing a nice job getting back on it and getting away from Griffin, but 16 will be here. As Andrew Schulte and Ronnie Norman fairly close together here. They round out the top 5 right now. There's Greg Malley in 6th, Johnny Hamby in 7th, Will Kirk, and Justin Michael 8th and 9th. Charlie Widener, who just got the lucky dog, is back up into 10th. So good work for him.
Yeah, that's a good rebound for him to be able to come back from, being a lap down and then coming back up to 10th. It's always good. It just shows the kind of racer he really is with his WD-40 truck, which I always find very funny. Because it's just yellow and blue. I always think it's a giant Napa, but it's not. But yeah, he's also a very good racer. Glad to have him here in the league, and he always puts up a fight, at certain tracks, and this is one of them that he surprises a lot of guys with. He might be running mid-pack, but if we have a late race caution, he gets tires and he starts up front, and he could put up a fight, just like how it was at Iowa. He almost won the race, but he lost it coming off of turn 2, and he could have had his first race, first win in max velocity, but it's part of the game, part of the race, and push it to the edge is part of it.
I mean, that was a legendary green-white checkered here. That's maybe one of the best we've ever had on the channel. It was a fantastic effort from Charlie, and I know he was a little bit disappointed with coming up short, but I mean, you can't say he wasn't hanging it out, because he quite literally was hanging it all out there for the win.
Yeah, he sure was hanging it out there the last 2 laps. He did for sure. And after the race, I went down, I talked to him. I said, man, you let it hang down just a little too much. He says, I was trying. He's like, I didn't want him to win it. So he didn't want Ashton Carter to win it. He wanted to put up a fight. And I honestly think, that if he didn't lose it right there, I think he probably would have maybe won it, or at least finished top 3 easily. That's for sure.
And now, putting on your league proprietor hat here, We're over halfway through the season. I mean, expectations were pretty high. Do you think the league has lived up so far? I mean, I would say yes, but I'd love to hear it from your perspective.
Yeah, the league has lived up to what I've wanted it to become. Mainly, just a good place to race. The first couple of races, first 10 races of seasons where everybody was getting used to each other, so that's why we were having a bunch of cautions and stuff. But that's part of the racing, but to have a solid 25 people show up every race, where it's mellowed out now to where 25 start every race now, and still getting new people that watch your streams and they're like, hey, I want to join, I saw you on turn 200, kind of makes me feel good. You know what I mean? That people are like, hey, I like the racing here. I like, especially last week, that's also how Billy and Jack found out about us too. It wasn't just because of Cody, it was because they saw your stream and and they were like, wow, they went green, they went flag to flag at National Super Speedway. You don't see that happen in many league races, let alone official races, and so they like the racing and they like how we do things here, and yeah, I'm pretty happy for how it turns out. I'm looking forward to next year, still working out the schedules and working out how we're going to do things, but it's looking like we're going to have roughly about 3 to 4 different nights of racing, and Thursday night's going to be the premiere night, and should be fun, and I can't wait to make an announcement about it. Hopefully, probably the last race of the season, I'll probably be able to make the announcement officially.
We are all very excited. We'll just leave it at that. But you just saw a big dive bomb move there last lap from Justin Michael to get past Will Kirk. That is for 8th. So Michael on the comeback trail here. But quite a distance to get back up to Johnny Hamby and Greg Mullen running 7th and 6th. Scott Patton trying to put on the jets to get away from Cody Griffin. Griffin's about to have another problem in the form of Andrew Schulte.
Yeah. Andrew Schultz is, the tire saver himself, man. He's running them down. He's coming. He's coming, that's for sure.
Well, he was the tire saver in the first run here tonight, but I just saw a glimpse of him down on the Crowder line. That was going to do your tires no favors, but maybe it's go time for Schulte.
Yeah, I think he saved enough tires in the first 22 laps of this run, and now he's Cody got in the wall a little bit there, and now he's now for the second half of the run here, he's gonna start using it up a little bit more to hopefully maybe he might be able to pass Cody, and then he's getting there, and maybe then he can run down Scott, but he's got to get past a very strong competitor Cody first before he can do that.
So cross halfway, 85 of 130. Crowder getting ready to cross the line to put 86 up on the board. One more pit stop to go, I do believe, for these drivers. As this is the best battle on track for position here. Final spot on the podium.
Yeah, currently at the moment, Andrew is he's been running about a tenth faster for the last 3 laps. So we'll see what he does here and if he can close the gap anymore in the next couple laps. Ooh, Cody hanged it out a little bit there. It's gonna hurt him.
Schulte has moved off of the apron line, at least for now. He used it to get where he wanted to be, which is right up on the tailgate of the 16. Now here he goes. Oh, man.
There we go.
Checks up a little bit. Griffin going to leave the bottom open here. Schulte not going to be able to get right back to it just yet. That just makes me nervous.
Yeah, sliding up the track, it's always a scary feeling, because you don't want to be that guy, you go for take the low line, and then, the truck just comes out from underneath you, and you slide up a little bit into somebody, especially somebody you respect, because then they immediately think, oh, you just wrecked me on purpose, but then again, it's more of just, you're trying, you push your truck to the limit, it's part of it, So I always tell everybody, watch replay first. He didn't do it on purpose.
That's the thing, is you could think whatever whoa, there's a big snap loose for both drivers there.
Yeah, I know, that was might be some oil off turn 2 there,
Yeah. But that's always, whether you key up over the radio or not, it's always your first thought, like, oh, I just got wrecked on purpose. I wonder what I did to deserve that. It's just, it takes a second, it takes a beat or two to remove yourself from the situation and go back and actually watch it, and then you can see if you got wrecked or not on purpose. It's always the conclusion that we jump to in the cockpit.
Oh, of course, you know, and I learned that, you know. Oh, Ashton Crowder's down pit road.
All right, Crowder into the pits here on lap 90. So that will give the lead now to Scott Patton.
Yeah, I was about to say this is gonna 40 laps to go. This is Go see how strategies play out here.
And Crowder was the first lead lap truck into the pits last time as well, so he keeps on that trend and had quite a lead over Scott Patton as well. So Patton not going to wait around much longer. He is in the pits one lap after, trying to answer. So are Andrew Schulte, Cody Griffin, Greg Mall, Michael,
Andrew
Kirk,
Schulte there.
Milfelt, Watts, a lot of people on pit road this time.
Oh yeah, this is a very busy pit road. Andrew Schulte was able to pass Cody entering pit road there. I hope he didn't catch himself a black flag on entering there. That would really be a downfall to his night.
It'd be easier to tell you who didn't pit this last time around. Ronnie Norman is the race leader. Johnny Hamby, Charlie Widener, Brad Slagle, Matt Burkhart. The only 5 drivers on the lead lap that did not pit this last time around. And Johnny Hamby is pitting this time. So that leaves Norman, Widener, Slagle, and Burkhart as well, and Ryan McRoberts. Whoa, Cody Griffin on fresh tires nearly piled into Ronnie Norman. And,
yeah,
they're still battling.
Yeah, him and Andrew. They came off pit road almost side by side. I was wondering who was gonna have to give it up because neither one of them wanted to give it away. But we got to spin off of turn 2 there. Wally spins down in the grass.
Down into the grass on the inside. It shouldn't bring out a caution unless he brings it up back onto the track and parks it. Not sure if he hit the inside. We did actually get this one on the notification. We'll take a look real quick.
Oh! Caution on the front stretch.
Oh,
Andrew
no.
Schulte and Cody got into it.
Oh, no.
They were going around a lap car. That's that part of not giving, just not wanting to give each other each other an inch, and that's the downfall of that right there.
All right, so I think we've found this here. Yep, side by side, working through 3 and 4. This is Schulte on the top side, Griffin on the bottom. Not sure who the lap truck is in front of them.
That is the Jake, Mr. I don't know how to pronounce the last name.
And you can see there was not a whole lot of operating room, just a little bit of contact. But again, on fresh tires, it doesn't take much to upset this truck. Just a little tap there into the right rear quarter panel, and Griffin, I mean, that was a hard shot.
Yeah, he did exactly what I did there. He just hit the wall head on. Yeah, and that's what happens. And they both knew that they were going to be going 3 wide there, but by the sounds of it, sounds like Cody was kind of hoping that Andrew would chicken out of it. That's, in that situation, I would hope for the same, but Andrew doesn't chicken out of it most of the time. So I can tell you that from experience in the past with Andrew. You better just bag out of it. So.
Well, that was a great battle. Unfortunately, it ended like that. I mean, certainly not malicious by any stretch of the imagination, but it's tight quarters. It's always tight quarters around New Hampshire, but then when you start throwing lap trucks in the mix and trucks who have yet to pit and different speeds, different tire strategies, it can all bunch up in a hurry.
Yeah, and just hearing over the radio and stuff, it's good sportsman between the two. Andrew immediately apologized and said, "Sorry, man, I didn't let out of it. I don't know if you knew we were 3 wide." And Cody said exactly what I thought he would say. He's like, "No, I thought you were chicken out of it." So, you know, but I'm pretty sure Cody's here. He's gonna have a good bunch of damage. He's gonna go a lap down either way. So hopefully he can get his laps back and hopefully get himself back in a fight and maybe get a top 15 out of tonight.
So I think Jack Watts, who remember on the restart absolutely knocked down the wall at a turn 2. I think he is back on the lead lap now. I'm not sure with how much damage. But
Yeah, it looks like he'll get the wave around this time. Him, Michael, Milfeld, Wally, and Kurt, and Johnny.
that's a good break for Wally Turheimer, who had we were watching the replay as the caution came out, just had a solo spin on cold tires down into the inside of the back straightaway. So it's a good break for him. All right, final pit stops are done. It is it's go 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 from here on out, right? This will bring Andrew Schulte into third now. And we have yet to see him really up at the front for a restart just yet.
Not yet. I mean, you'll see him at the super speedways for sure. But at a short track like this, well, I don't know. Would you count New Hampshire as a short track? Because I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it drives like a short track, even though it's technically not. I would call it a short track.
Yeah. And we're going to go green here.
It's more of a philosophical question.
Right.
Lap 99 of 130.
It's a giant paperclip.
Yes, the big paperclip.
There you go.
Good start here for Crowder. Patton down to cover off the 81 of Schulte. Ronnie Norman under fire from Charlie Widener for fourth. The rest of the field sorting themselves out.
I thought Scott there was going to give him a little bump.
Sure looked like it, didn't it?
It was close. I wonder if they even touched.
Crowder a little bobble there on corner entry. Patton comes back within a truck length here. Laps to go. Patton doing all he can to try and keep Ashton Crowder in front of him. It may be a futile effort here. Schulte, Norman, and Widener, right? Round out your top five. Pretty well single file through the field here. First battle for position, I think. Johnny Hamby and Michael Milfeld pretty close together here. This is for the final spot in the top 10. Milfeld has it. Hamby wants it. Hamby wants to keep his good oval streak of late going. Greg Mull trying to scoot away from this battle. As Justin Michael working underneath of the 01 of John Pansilla, I do believe. Who is a lap down. Scott Patton trailing Ashton Crowder by just about a second here. Crowder has gone back to entering below the apron there in 1 and 2. Coming to 25 laps to go when they come back around to the front straightaway. Patton trying to scoot away from Andrew Schulte, who's running in third. Schulte has his hands full here with Ronnie Norman. Norman nearly into the tailgate there. And I haven't talked much about Matt Burkhart here tonight, but here he is all of a sudden in P6. Nice work for driver number 4.
Yeah, he sure has came out of nowhere. You know, and then Brad Slagle, God, I'm butchering that last name, is has made himself way back up to 7th place, you know, from having that spin about mid-race. So that's pretty good for him, you know, coming here with 24 laps to go.
Absolutely great recovery for Slagle. Justin Michael is back in 8th. This is not going to be the night that he or Greg Mall, I don't think, are looking for.
No, you know, if they were to finish where they're at now, you know, Greg Mall would lose his points lead. That's for sure. Here
is Ronnie Norman underneath of Andrew Schulte. Norman trying to make it another podium run here tonight. Schulte gonna give him a bump into 1. Yeah, maybe not. Rolls out of it. But as those two battled, Scott Patton actually got closer. Is Scott saving here, or are these two just faster?
I think these two are honestly, I think they're pushing it a little bit faster, in my opinion. But also, you know, the thing is Ronnie's on technically 4 lap fresher tires than Scott and Andrew. So that might also be playing a factor here. All depends.
Well, Ronnie wants to get the P2 after coming up 1 spot short last week. Really coming up 1 corner short of finish in P2. Ran it out of gas out of turn 4 last week at Nashville Super Speedway and had to settle for a 3rd place finish.
Yeah, I know that was a rough one for him for sure.
So this looks settled for the moment here. Matt Burkhart is trying to move into the top 5. Here he is underneath of Widener.
A little bit there.
Seems like just about everybody's given the Crowder line a go.
Yeah, at this point, you know, you might as well give it a shot. You know, what's the worst that can happen, right?
Johnny Hamby. The 23 of Ryan McRoberts is a lap down, but he's trying to follow him through underneath of Michael Milfeld to move into the top 10. Now they both move up to the top side. So McRoberts trying to get a position for the lucky dog. I think he would have it, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll keep our eyes on that. Matt Burkhart fading a little bit after having a pretty good look at Widener for 5th.
You know, with Justin Michael back here running the Crowder line, he is actually catching Ashton Crowder slowly. He's actually running almost half a tenth faster than Ashton Crowder. But I mean, he is 5 seconds back, but he's still running just a little bit faster than him. Just a hair.
Patton, Norman, and Schulte still pretty close together here, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Scott Patton has fallen behind the race leader about 2.5 seconds here. 17 miles to go around the Magic Mile. Is there a little magic left here for anybody else in the podium or in the top 5 to have a shot at the race win? Justin Michael's gotten through on Matt Burkhart to move up to 6th. And whoa, nearly into the 95 of Widener there to try and move up into the top 5. And forget what I said a couple of laps ago about this maybe being a disappointing night for Justin Michael. He's making the best of it here in this final run.
He's trying to get as much points as he possibly can, you know, with him missing a couple races this season already. Luckily, he's got all those drop races, but he's got to make the points where he can, you know, to hopefully have a fight and for the championship here when it comes closer to the end of the season.
Widener going to get a run off the top side, but Justin Michael has cut the advantage down to less than a truck length here. 15 laps to go. And Michael going to complete the pass this time. So move Michael back up to 5th. We were watching the battle for 10th a little bit ago. Johnny Hamby has faded away just a little bit from Michael Milfeld, but still has him within about half a second here. Ronnie Norman and Andrew Schulte still pretty close together here. This would be for the final spot on the podium. Norman just took that spot about 6 or 7 laps ago from Andrew Schulte. They've not really gained or lost any time on Scott Patton, who rides ahead of him in 2nd.
I wonder if Andrew Schulte here is going to be able to catch Ronnie back.
He's awfully close, that's for sure. Matt Burkhart just had to go at Charlie Widener for 6th, but falls back in the line for now. Let's see if he can make another move here. 11 laps to go.
Andrew Schulte here is going to get a good run coming down the backstretch. It's going to send it. No, he's not.
Ooh.
I thought he was.
Norman playing a dangerous game there, trying to encroach on the line of a speeding 81.
Right, exactly. You know, I was like, oof. It was a little rough there.
Side by side for the final spot on the podium. Schulte underneath, looking to take the spot back. And he is going to be clear, maybe. Thought Norman was going to ease up and maybe go for a crossover.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting too, but no, he's still going to put up a fight off the top there, and Andrew shuts the door just a little bit.
Might try and swap him this time. Maybe not.
No, I think Ronnie's just getting beat by the tire saver himself.
So nice work by Andrew Schulte to hang back for about 10 laps and retake the 3rd position. A lot of P3 finishes for driver 81 so far in the revival season of Maximum Velocity. Maybe another one just 8 laps away. Meanwhile, Widener and Burkhart still close together here for 6th.
Wonder if Burkhart will here, you know, maybe get another shot here and hopefully can get himself a 6th place finish. Or, yeah, 6th place.
Oh, had a big run that time and had to make a bobble to not get in the wall. Still going to look for a pass here. Oh, man. Back of the truck was yawed out there in the 1. Still making good gains. Six to go. It's all Ashton Crowder out front. No challenges for position inside the top 10 other than this one is, oh no, Burkhart into the wall.
Oh, he sent it in there. He was trying, but he locked it up.
Absolutely was trying. Got to get back on his horse because here is Brad Slagle behind. Certainly some contact with the wall. Hopefully not too much. At least not a meatball's worth.
Yeah, hopefully not. You know, maybe hopefully he can still keep himself in the top 10 here and be good. But I don't think Brad Slagle is gonna just let him get away with that. I think he's gonna hopefully run him down and put up a fight.
No, Slagle's in the midst of his own comeback here. I don't think he wants to help in Matt Burkhart's comeback. But Burkhart certainly is recovered okay after that moment for sure.
Yeah, it's not too bad. You know, he only lost one spot. No, he didn't even lose any spots.
No.
Which is pretty good. Now, if he did that on a restart, he would have lost a lot. That's for sure.
Oh,
he would've
absolutely.
lost a lot of spots.
Michael Melfeld in the closing laps here is going to try and track down Greg Mall. Has him to about 3 truck lengths here through 1 and 2. Ashton Crowder, I mean, what a race for him. I know we say it every week just about at this point, but really had to work for it here tonight. Scored the pole, didn't get to enjoy starting from the front. Took an opportunity, an extra couple of bonus points to start in the back of the field. It did not take him very long to find his way back up front where he has spent so much of this season. 2 miles to go, now making about 1.5 miles. He at least wants to get to the white flag.
All he wants. Because a caution now, you know, would throw a huge curveball into the mid.
Absolutely. White flag. Win number 7 on the season. It's been a magic night for Ashton Crowder at the Magic Mile. From the back to the front, Crowder wins it in New Hampshire. At his home track, Scott Patton is going to take a season-best P2 finish. Andrew Schulte will bring it home to round out the podium. And it's about time for the drill spill. Oh.
He always does something.
BC Lunar Tech Chevy number 27 in victory lane for the 7th time this season. And he is, running down Cruz here. Look out. It's a little jump. Whoa, a big jump. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's gone. Well,
That was
that is going to lead us here into our finishing order.
Oh, that's an awesome jump.
I'll have to remember that for next time.
All right.
Here we go with the results. Ashton Crowder with the win here tonight. Scott Patton, Andrew Schulte, your top three. We'll talk to these three gentlemen momentarily. Ronnie Norman and Justin Michael. Great comeback for the 87 to finish in fifth. Charlie Widener in sixth. Matt Burkhardt, a good recovery there after a scary couple of closing laps. He'll finish in seventh. Brad Slagle in eighth. Michael Milfelt in ninth. He got the pass done on Greg Mall, who moves down to 10th. Still a pretty good night for Greg Mall, up 10 positions from where he started. Johnny Hamby then will finish in 11th. Will Kirk in 12th. Jack Watts 13th. Rob Haynes, one lap down, I do believe, in the 14th position. Ryan McRoberts at 15th. Drew Strotman 16th. Wally Turheimer 17th. Bill Paradise in 18th. John Pansilla, Jack Nulemacher, Billy Davison through the 21st position. Kerry Cleaver in 22nd. Cody Griffin got out on the track there at the end of the race for the final few laps. He'll finish in 23rd. And then DNFs, I do believe, for Noah Rainwater, Tyler Chalk, and James Lehman, I think, was a DNF here tonight.
It's tragic.
It was. But we've got podium interviews on the way. And first, we'll drag up our third-place finisher, Andrew Schulte. Nice work here tonight, partner. Congrats on the podium finish.
Thank you, sir.
How did we feel about 130 laps here tonight at the Magic Mile?
Oh, I didn't mind it. It was fun. It was interesting trying to learn a new racing line that I've never seen before. I don't have anything else to say about it other than that. I've raced on this track a bunch of times. Scott's one of the best people I've ever raced here. His hometown track, so congrats to him on finishing second. But seeing Ashton run the bottom, like almost all the way around, he started in the back, and by lap like 15 he was behind me, and I couldn't put two and two together. I've never seen anyone run the bottom like that. Congrats to him. Obviously, he's got some sort of knowledge that we don't, but that was wild.
James, you got anything for Andrew?
Andrew, there, you're known as the tire saver. You did an outstanding job, and you were able to sit there and run Ronnie Norman down. But can you tell us what happened there between you and Cody there in that caution?
First of all, that's the nicest thing I ever heard come out of your mouth. It must be you being in the booth right now, but I mean, we were racing hard. We both came out on fresh tires. Coming out of pit road, we were side by side, and I gave him a break. When we first came out, we could have ran each other through the grass and up onto the track, but I lifted, let him by, and when I got up next to him, he thought that I was going to lift and get stuck behind the lap car, and I am not one to lift and put myself in a bad position, so I stayed in it and put us three wide. I think unbeknownst to him that we were going to be three wide, and unfortunately it took him out. I saw initially it got him loose, but I guess I didn't expect him to lose the truck right away. But I do want to apologize to him on that, because obviously it's not something that I wanted to do, nor do I like ruining people's days, for lack of better words there. But yeah, just an unfortunate incident there. Hated for that to happen to him, and was excited to race that out, because I think that was going to be a good battle between the two of us. But yeah, just one of those deals.
You had great battling all through the field here tonight, and lost the third spot, laid back for about 10 laps, and then took it back with just a couple of laps to go. So nice work to get back on the podium here tonight. Is there anybody you want to shout out or say hi to here?
Shout out to Patented Paints, Scott Patton, your second place finisher. Always does awesome paint jobs. I know he does a bunch of paints for a lot of guys in the league. He's whipped this one up that he still needs to update for me, because some of the paint doesn't line up on the hood, but I know he's busy. Shout out to you guys, James, for running this league and revamping Maximum Velocity after a couple year hiatus. Miss racing with a bunch of these guys. I know a couple of them, or well, a good handful of them we've raced with throughout different leagues, but good to see some familiar faces. And Turn 200 guys, you guys do an awesome broadcast. I love watching it. I was watching the broadcast from a previous race the other day, and my wife was wondering what race I was watching because she thought that it was on TV. So you guys gotta keep doing what you're doing. Love going back and watching them. And shout out to wife and kids.
Absolutely. Shout out to all the sim wives and sim moms for sacrificing a little bit so we can get the drivers out here on the sim. Appreciate the time as always. Appreciate the great driving as well. And we'll be talking to you again here soon.
Thanks, guys.
Now we'll bring up your second place finisher. We talked to him a little bit to open up the broadcast. Now we'll get to talk to him as your second place finisher here tonight at his home track. The one and only Scott Patton is here in booth 200. 130 miles here at New Hampshire. How are we feeling? How are we feeling after the race here tonight?
Pretty worn out. That one took a lot out of me. I don't know if it was up there quite with, gosh, what was that? 6 months ago, Brazil. But it was up there for sure.
Yep, that's that Interlagos race. That was hopefully that was a lot of fun. But hopefully it was fun here tonight as well. I know you had a lot of eyes on you, especially after notching that top 5 finish last week. Coming to your home track here tonight, were you expecting Ashton Crowder to sort of run the line that he was running throughout the night? Were you expecting anybody to find that line? Were you gonna use that line? What was the deal there with the under the apron moves?
Yeah, that kind of evolved throughout the race. It's something that I certainly got blindsided by. Ashton obviously moved up from the back of the field with his talent by using that line, I'm sure, when he got the E-wall in the beginning there. But, yeah, it took me by surprise. And then it was one of those things where I wanted to try it. I think I tried it for a lap or two, but I couldn't find any speed. And it's, with guys that are a second and a half behind me for third, fourth, fifth place, I couldn't afford to give up what I was doing that was working, at least for second place, just to try to figure out what he was doing when he's making up 3-4 tenths on me. So, unfortunately, it wasn't really the place to figure it out until that last restart. I think it was the last restart there, and after the last yellow, I got a good look at him doing that line, so I was able to try it a couple times and maybe pick up a little bit. But it didn't seem like I certainly didn't have the pace that he had. So, hats off to him for being able to move around like that and find a line and pull it off like that. And yeah, we're happy to finish second. Don't want to say I saw that coming, but I saw it coming.
All right, James, what do you got for your teammate here?
Well, Scott, you put on one hell of a show tonight. You and Justin got into it a little bit, because you slid up a little bit into him about midway through the race, but, he still had a good night. He was able to rebound from it. And you had the best finish of your, season here, finishing second. You had a very rough first 7 races, not finishing and barely finishing into the top 10. But how do you see the rest of your season going after tonight's race?
Yeah, hopefully these races start coming together like like I kind of expected them to. Like I said, the first half of the season has been a combination of bad luck, probably a few too many mistakes on my part as well, but caught in some stuff that wasn't necessarily our doing. Dug us a pretty big hole in the point standings, and without there being a playoff structure to this, it's going to be hard to dig ourselves out. But I saw tonight that I'm like 9th in points coming into tonight, so happy to be sitting in there in the top 10. Hopefully we can pick off a couple more spots here before we wrap it up.
It's been exciting to see the runs start to come more and more here. The last few races, top 5 last week, on the podium here tonight. Exciting stuff here for you. Anybody you want to shout out or thank you tonight with the silver medal?
Probably just the guys in the hood there. New England Racing Museum up here at the home track, New Hampshire Motor Speedway on the property there, just south of the Speedway. Check that out if you drive by Route 106 there going to the track. Might see Dr. Dick Berger in there walking around inside, working on the museum, dusting off cars and whatnot. Other than that, just the guys, teammates at Bandit. They're obviously a great resource. They kind of chipped in to let me know what Ashton was doing and see if we can kind of figure it out. We tried a couple things there, but it's great to have teammates like them, Justin and those guys, James too, in the room to kind of bounce ideas off of. But yeah, great run for us, and hopefully we can follow it up with another podium next week.
All righty, best of luck to you. Hope to talk to you again here next week at Kansas.
Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate all the work that you guys do. Awesome broadcasts.
And now it's time for the 7th time as a race winner this season. We will bring up Ashton Crowder up top. Congratulations on another win here. A little more of a hard-fought one than maybe you were expecting coming into tonight. But, I mean, I think the question that's on everybody's mind, including the drivers that we brought up here already, everybody is pretty mystified with the with the racing line that you found through this one. Talk us through the discovery and how you kept on it there.
Yeah, well, thank you, first off. Yeah, I found it, I guess I didn't find it. So I watch a lot of different race car drivers, like on boards and stuff. It's not a job right now because I don't get paid to do it, but it's something I do quite often because I help like coach Brendan Poole in the Xfinity series. So we're always looking at like onboards and stuff and trying to figure out kind of what's going to be the best course of action, especially for qualifying. I mean, they get like probably, I don't know, 15 minutes or so to practice. Uh, and they have to do, they probably get like one qualifying run and then maybe 2 race runs in that 15 minutes, maybe just 1 race run. So being able to go to the racetrack and know exactly what you need to do, really big deal. And watching onboards, kind of seeing like people in New Hampshire, they started kind of searching around towards like the apron and stuff and lines that would still have a little bit of bite to them. And the rocks would be kind of sharp and heavy. So that's where I kind of got the thought for that. And Kevin Harvick was a big one that was doing that. So I was like, all right, cool. And he's always really shallow on his entries, and ended up doing a B Open SOF race, Strength of Field, 6,000 SOF. And I did it on the fixed setup. This is a true story. This is a flex, but it's also a true story. Did it on the fixed setup. Everybody else had their own setups. I started from last. Ended up getting to like the top 5, like 30 laps into the race or whatever, and then won the race by 4 seconds on the fixed setup running that line.
Wow.
And yeah, and people were trying it in there, and those guys don't suck, and nobody could do it. And that's when I started to realize, all right, we got something here. And then going into this race, I told my grandfather after last week at Nashville, I said, they're going to be screwed at New Hampshire if my line works, because nobody's going to be able to do it, because I'm the one that knows how to do the inputs and nobody else does to this point, unless I stream it and show everybody. So yeah, I didn't show it in practice, came in here and had it in the race and got the tires on it really well and went really fast. And yeah, that was a little wild card. Or a little ace. I don't know. I don't play card games, but anyways, it was something I was holding on to, and yeah, it worked out really well, thankfully.
I'll say, James, what do you got?
Ashton, you did an outstanding job. You took that challenge and you were able to get up to the lead within 30 laps. That's very impressive, man. And you did one hell of a race, and that line was yeah, it was the first I've ever seen it, man. I was kind of blown away. Me and Tommy up here were like calling it the Crowder line. So from now on, anytime we race at New Hampshire, we're all going to be attempting to do the Crowder line and hopefully make it work.
Yeah. There have been a few racetracks where I've had a line named after me. Thankfully. So it's cool to add another one to the list. It was a little kind of funny story. You got to know the backstory to all of it to really get why it's funny. But there's a guy that used to be, I don't think he really tries anymore, but he used to be like out and out the best. His name was Ryan Michael Luza, now Ryan Luza. And I mean, he would just whoop everybody's butt. And he got banned for cheating back in the day because people were mad he was so good. And that's just how that goes. When you're a kid and you're fast, they try to get you for cheating. But what was it? Yeah, it was at Charlotte. And I was racing with my teammates. It was Jarl Tien, I think maybe Colton Davis, and a couple others. But anyways, I would start off the run. I'd be like 2/10 off a lap for like 5 laps or something. And then all of a sudden, I would flip a switch and I'd be a tenth faster, 2 tenths faster, 3 tenths faster, 4 tenths faster, 5 tenths faster. And all I was doing was lifting halfway down the back straightaway and front straightaway and going full throttle on the entry of the corner. So with the low downforce cars back in the day, like 2017, and grip was a premium, I would just be full throttle through the corner, never heat my tires up pretty much because I didn't have all the critical speed situation on entry and the whole speed bleed and all the engineering terms. Didn't have any of that, just went full throttle. It was like I was driving a school car, and that was the Crowder line at Charlotte, and the same thing worked at Atlanta, Texas, basically every, well, it's not a D-shaped oval, but what is that?
All the cookie cutters.
Yeah, the cookie cutter tracks. It worked everywhere. Even Chicagoland some too. So, yeah, that was a big flex. I just gave out right there, but yeah, so pretty cool.
Flex away, man. Absolutely. Anytime you can control a race like that, especially basically starting from last, it's certainly an accomplishment. It's your 7th win of the season here. Congratulations. Again, we start to hear them every week, but you got to shout them out. It's the
That's right.
folks that help put it all together here.
Yeah, thank you again. First and foremost, BC Lunar Tech. They give us billions of dollars. Ended up hitting a deer this week or yesterday.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, so we're gonna have to use that $1 billion to get my car fixed. But thankfully, it's $1 billion, so we got the money in hand. The drill spill. Everybody on my team, they know who they are. My girlfriend probably still behind me. Yeah, she's recording me on her phone. Weirdly enough, strange. TMZ back there. My grandparents watching. You guys for putting on the broadcast in the league, James especially. And a couple things. Want to give a couple huge shout outs. Number one, November 9th, going to see Iowa and Virginia Tech. Gonna get to see my girl Caitlin Clark. Love her to death. She's the greatest of all time. And I also want to give a huge shout out. This is going to come as a big surprise. I want to give a big shout out to Hannah Bohr on the Virginia Tech volleyball team, their setter. There's just something about the way she can get that ball in the right spot, and it's inspiring to be perfect. And that's what we aim to do tonight. And also sponsor Brennan Pool. That's it.
I mean, I would say a pretty damn near perfect night as well. You got all the sponsor shout-outs in. You're even repping the enemy team that you're getting ready to go see. So that's
right.
a lot of exciting things happening here tonight for Ashton Crowder and company. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again one way or another next week at Kansas. But until then, go party hard, and we'll talk to you again here soon.
Hope so. Thank you.
Alrighty, James. I appreciate you hopping into the booth here tonight. It was a welcome surprise, not one that we talked about beforehand, but one that was certainly exciting. It's always nice to get Matt drives and I drive on the sim, but we're not drivers. You're a driver. We got the true driver's perspective here tonight.
Yeah, based on the circumstances of me losing my, running out of talent and missing the shift and wrecking. You got a buddy up in the booth tonight, so.
Well, I appreciate it, and if Matt's still watching, appreciate or hope that his move is going well. That's always sucky, to say the least.
Yeah,
hate moving.
Always, yeah.
Hopefully, you don't have to do it for a while unless something really good comes up, but we'll see.
Right.
But appreciate you. Is there anything you want to say in closing here to the folks out there in Turn 200 lane, and also to the drivers here?
Thank you to everybody that showed up tonight in the Max Velocity race. Everybody put on a good race, and thank you guys here at Turn 200. Tommy, you do an amazing job, and love watching it all the time.
Well, thank you, partner. Appreciate the time as always, and we'll hope to see you back on track for a much longer period of time next week in Kansas.
Yeah, hopefully. That track's going to be tough, that's for sure.
I agree. Kansas is a sneaky tough track in my opinion, but I'm hoping for the best for you here next week at Kansas. But appreciate you coming out here tonight.
Thank you.
And to everybody that was out here watching tonight with us on Turn 200, we greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Michelle Kirk was hanging out with us here tonight, as was Greg Mall, Noah Rainwater, Ashton Crowder hopped in the chat before the race. Martha Turheimer rooting on Wally here tonight, who did a pretty good job after the spin there to get back up into the top 20. Nice recovery for him. And appreciate Marilyn Beck as well, saying that we needed a little more volume on the microphone as the stream went along tonight. But that is about all we've got for you here for Maximum Velocity Racing League. Be sure to join us next Thursday at Kansas Speedway. Between now and then, of course, on Sunday, we've got the Top Split official strength of field race for the Mission R Challenge at Road America. And then join us the next day on Monday night. It is Roval Night in America for Truck 200, and they will take on 200 kilometers around the Charlotte infield. That is going to be an exciting race. No Tuesday or Wednesday broadcast next week. Venom Truck Series is still off until October 17th, and ASRL is off on a testing night for Bathurst, I do believe. So that brings us back to next Thursday at Kansas. We hope to see you again there. The best way to do that is to make sure that you hit subscribe on your way out of the stream here tonight. Every little bit helps us on our goal towards 500 subscribers. And it turns out only 35% of the people that watch our broadcast are subscribed to the channel. So do us a solid if you would, please. If you enjoyed tonight's stream, hit like and subscribe on your way out here tonight. And we'll see you back here next Thursday for Maximum Velocity Racing League at Kansas. Until we meet again, for everybody with Turn 200, for the GOAT Matt Williamson, for tonight's GOAT James Lehman, I'm Tommy Cook. Till we meet again, we say so long from virtual New Hampshire Motor Speedway, where Ashton Crowder grabs win number 7 on the season. Have a good night, everybody.